Gonna change the world.
Gonna change the world.
There it is.
With my hockey stick. Gonna make a real difference. Feed the poor and heal the sick.
Woo! The hockey season's coming. It's the most exciting time.
It is.
It really is. Like September, when September starts creeping up on you, you're like, oh, okay, hockey is we're gonna start getting on the ice again. I mean, we played summer hockey, but like,
Oh, I've been fired up. I said that I think yesterday. I was like, I'm kind of stoked for hockey season to come back.
I miss watching hockey. Like,
oh yeah.
I get like, I'm so used to the past couple of years where there's been like barely an off season and you're right back into the preseason.
It's exciting because it's within reach. Once September rolls, starts to get cooler. You're like, okay, so we're gonna start playing hockey again. Kids are starting to get into hockey. October rolls around, you've got the NHL firing up, and even in September, you get like the preseason matches, the rookie camp, stuff like that. There's a little more
Narrative
buzz.
start boiling.
Yeah, a little more chatter about who's playing well, who's not, lineup matches, and then what do you get? You get Thanksgiving, then you get Halloween.
I know.
Right? Everything starts rolling.
Back to school, and then it's
the first snowfall.
fair.
Fall fair.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
everything. We were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah. All these small towns, the small town rinks around Canada, a lot of kids, they don't see the ice. They're playing baseball, soccer, whatever. The ice is gone. Unless you want to drive like 45 minutes an hour. That was my situation when I was a kid. There was no ice. You just couldn't play. And I was just dying to play. And right when the fall fair hits, you're like, yes. Because after this fall fair is over, they're going to put the ice back in the rink.
Yeah.
And then you start getting excited.
That's interesting because I always lived in a place where there was like ice full year round.
Yep.
So that's a different. Yeah.
My
different
local
take.
barn, they would put the ice in for like a few weeks, then take it out for the fall fair.
It's crazy.
For like 2 weeks. Then like you had to go and practice in Mac Tier, which was like an hour and a half drive at 6 a.m.
Did they have the fair in October?
Yeah.
Okay, because we do the September fall fair.
Yeah, I guess
Most
they
places
spread
do.
them out. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, the Coldwater Fall Fair isn't until October, so they needed to put the ice in for a bit.
That just seems like too much work.
I know, it's like
Okay,
Yeah,
craziest thing at the fall fair in Beaverton, Ontario. They had the 4-H club, which is like a club
I remember
for
those.
farmers, like the junior 4-H.
Yeah.
The craziest thing, and I remember thinking this is just normal, right? They would set up in the arena, and I'm sitting in the arena like I should be watching hockey right now. No, what am I watching? I am watching cows walk around
Come on.
while a bunch of farmers watch them walk around and see where they poop. They have cow poop bingo.
What
They make
What?
they make a grid on the arena floor.
What is this,
Cow
like chicken
poop
fights or something?
bingo?
It's cow poop bingo. So everyone buys a ticket. I want B6. I want D11, right? And they have this grid of letters and numbers. And it's 1 square foot each. And they bring a cow out, and everybody sits in the arena and they watch the cow in great anticipation.
Come
And they
on.
wait and they wait. And he lifts his tail, and someone's like, well, that's near my square. He drops a patty, and if it lands on the square you bet on, you win money.
Oh my God.
No way. That actually seems fun.
Not much to do in Beaverton, Ontario.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
it sounds lit. Like low
it's-
key. Like
how-
it sounds unreal. It seems like
You can make a game. You can bet on anything.
yeah.
What if
that's
it lands?
insane.
I got to know the technical details of this. What if it lands halfway between two?
Then I think
that's
they
a
got to
good
take the
question.
mass. They measure,
yeah, you
maybe
gotta-
weigh. They weigh. I don't know.
They
Which
hold
side's
each
got
side.
more?
Yeah.
To be honest, I was like packing back candy apples, cotton candy, and
You're just watching.
throwing up on the tilt-a-whirl.
And this was during the fall fair.
That's the fall fair in Beaverton. I think a lot of other places do it. And the other amazing thing about a fall fair, which I think this must happen all over Ontario, but the demolition derby.
Yeah,
Oh,
they go all
yeah,
across.
they go
yeah.
crazy
Yeah,
with that
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
But that might not be in every country. Like, does everyone just have like spare cars to smash up?
Well,
Like,
no, they're like specialized guys. Like they drive those same cars around all of Ontario.
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of local guys. So in Ontario or in Beaverton, anyways, there was a lot of local guys getting in. Like it was Ace's Garage, and just guys.
okay.
Like the rec yard, right, has lots of cars. Like that's just welded up, but they have to modify them. Like they got to take out the windows and all this stuff. But it is nothing better than just watching 6 cars on this side, 6 cars on this side, and on go they just drive full speed towards
Yeah, I
each
know.
other.
Yeah.
The best. I
insane.
remember like when I was a young teenager, it was the best demolition derby I ever watched, and it was at the Coldwater Fall Fair, and it
Yeah.
was because it rained the whole day.
Yep.
and then stopped raining and the sky got clear at night, but the field where they were doing the demolition derby was still mud.
Oh yeah,
and
you want the
water.
mud. You want
So
the
you
mud.
see it spinning, and like if you're sitting in front row, better watch out.
you're in the
'cause
splash zone.
You got like your popcorn or cotton candy. It's like poosh, right in
Everyone's
the
just
face.
Fired up. Yeah, we had ours was the Oro Fall Fair, and it was when we were in high school. It became like a big thing because everyone's like, "Oh, we got the Fall Fair," and it was a time to just get hammered.
The truck pulls. are the
Underage
best
drinking,
there.
you go underage, you got your flannel on,
Yeah.
you're walking around like I
Your
feel
dinner
like,
jackets.
I feel like high school was all about that. You're like, where are we going to drink? Like, where can we get away from our parents? And you're walking into the Fall Fair with your little backpack on, everything's clinking.
a little Mickey hidden.
You're
in there.
just like,
Couldn't
yeah,
afford
you're
cans.
walking around just age 15, 16, just cranked.
For me, the thrill, like same age bracket, but it was just the thrill of sneaking into the fair, not having to
Yeah,
pay the $10.
exactly.
Like we gotta go along the fence line.
Jumping the fence. That's what I mean. You got your backpack full of beers, and you're jumping the fence and getting into the Fall Fair.
I never got into the brewski. That was the thrill of
You were
just
never in high school. You never did.
not so much of the fall fair, the odd party, sure.
I've
but
been to the Oro Fair. That's one you're talking about.
Yeah, the Oro Fair is
Yeah,
lit, bro.
that
The Oro
one-
Fair is big
that
time.
one,
big
the-
time.
The tractor pulls or the truck pulls.
Yes,
is
that's
the
what it
highlight
was.
of the night.
Yeah, the track pulls, trucker.
I mean, the tractor pull is
Trucker.
fun. The tractor. The tractor pull is fun, but nothing beats the demolition derby. And
Yeah,
We
that's
got to do a
insane.
fall fair draft.
Yo,
the best
Fall
things at a fall fair.
Yeah.
events. To be honest, going to see like the weird vegetables is actually pretty cool too. You know,
Deformed like cucumbers
what
that
else,
are
like-
like 10 feet long.
I don't mind that. I like seeing the rabbits and what's the prize chicken? Show me that prize chicken.
Rabbit. Yeah, exactly. Like the meat. Is there like meat at the fall fair? What is a fall fair? Like let's
it's just like-
let's define a fall fair. I
I
don't
know,
even know
it's-
what it's for. It's
kinda
like
weird,
like
yeah.
a farmer's fair.
And does this happen in every country? Does every country have a fall fair? Or is this like a
I don't know.
Canadian
I think
thing?
it could be an Ontario thing.
No, they've got to do it in like Alberta and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
they
it's
must.
like-
Okay.
Oh, it's gonna be a Canadian thing, but in the States they have the state fair,
Right.
Yes.
which
Yes.
right,
It's
I
Got-
think it's a little
feel
bigger.
like it's probably more like more rides than
There's
we
rides.
would have.
But we don't do like chili cook-offs and like hot wing
lot of food things.
competition. Yeah, I think
No.
the States is a lot more like,
Food oriented.
yeah, who's got the best deep fried?
I want to go to that.
I mean,
I don't want to go and see some grandma who took a picture of a hummingbird or something. Is like entering in this competition.
Art. Yeah, it's like is there art and stuff
There
there?
is
Yeah, yeah.
art at
Yeah.
most of them. Yeah.
Basically, you get a booklet ahead of time, and you can look through the booklet, and you can enter into any of the exhibits. So you want to do photography, you want to do art, you want to have the best jam, the best preserves. You can just find any category that they
go
offer.
hard. They go hard. Like,
Yeah,
they
and
go
Sometimes there's
hard.
only one, and they just win by
Oh,
default.
dude, yeah. If you want to bring home $3-4 at a time,
They're going to get the trophy. Like, they've been working all year on their jam, on their corn chowder or whatever.
you know, Betty,
their bean
Gertrude.
mix.
yeah, they want those. Right?
Oh, they're like, yeah, like look at the mantle. We've won it 10 years in a row. It's like you can't lose. And then the new person shows up.
You know, Mary is bringing that first prize in the peanut brittle competition.
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
bingo
Score.
game. Yeah,
The score competition.
Oh man.
whichever lady rocks up to the bingo competition the week after the fall
Yeah,
fair with the
yeah.
most first prize ribbons. Oh, she's just
Got
gloating.
the Riz. Yeah.
Well, we got Labor Day, like the corn roast. Do you guys ever do corn roast, like at your cottage or anything?
Yeah,
on
there's
Labor
like
Day?
a neighborhood corn roast every now and then. I played played a guitar.
No
one
way, you
time.
play guitar?
Oh,
Yeah, like my buddy and I, we did like a little performance on the corn roast one day. It was
Well,
fun.
you do music?
Like I can play guitar. I don't really do
Well, that's
music.
music. Yeah. I would
Next
say
podcast.
Absolutely, that's music.
Next podcast, I'm
Yeah, I
on
wanna-
drums.
Yeah, I want to learn the drums too. I'll be all vocals. I'll be lead
You
vocal.
freestyle. Yeah, you're lead vocal.
I'll do lead vocals.
Puck Daddy Band. Here we go.
Yeah,
And on
let's go.
guitar.
We'll get Tommy too.
All right, we really went off the rails there with
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
fall fair, but like,
We're Canadian.
okay.
We got to start off with something that we're passionate about.
Everybody is feeling this. They know it's September, it's hockey, it's the fall fair, it's then October rolls around.
to
My
school.
birthday's October 6th, so that was always something cool. Hockey season starts up. You get the Thanksgiving, you get the Halloween, November, kind of a
yeah.
lull, but like you're in the thick of the hockey season, which is great. You get the first snowfall.
Yes.
And then ODR season right around the corner, right?
Yes.
Your birthday was October 6th when it changed.
It used to be, yeah. Now it just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, there's no such thing. There's no
Yeah.
such thing.
No, like no one even knows or reckon, it's just like, oh, you're 30 what now? No one cares. No one cares.
I'm like low key, like don't even want to celebrate my birthday anymore. It's not like getting older used to be fun, and now I'm like
Have you had your champagne birthday yet? Like, what day of the month is your birthday on?
April.
No, no. Oh, what day of the month?
It's April. It's the day of April.
It's doo. Duh.
22?
Duh.
So you already had your champagne birthday because you're past 22 years old.
Yeah, whatever that means.
Yeah, exactly.
What's champagne birthday?
You when your birthday
What's this guy talking?
falls on the same day, like your age falls on the same day as your birthday.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like I had mine this year. 28 on the
Champagne.
28th.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway,
Let's get into the pod.
We're all excited for winter, but
go.
there's still summer, and a good exhibit of that was yesterday when we went golfing with the SDPN boys.
What an exhibit!
Hayden,
that
how did that
was.
go? Tell
Well,
us a little
let's-
bit, Hayden.
let's-
You break it down. Break down the situation.
I'll lead into the disappointing event.
It wasn't disappointing at all. No.
I absolutely enjoyed every moment of it.
So Jesse Blake, if any of you aren't aware, he is on the Steve Dangle podcast, and he's a co-CEO of SDPN. He reached out to me to have the Puck Daddies come down to Toronto and play a golf match. Didn't really have too much details, but we get down there, and it ends up being me and Jesse, the producers, versus Chippy and Jeremy.
Yeah, I want to preface, they were extremely confident. When we got to
my
the putting
gosh.
room, Jesse shows up.
Jesse and I thought we had it in the bag.
The producers are like, "Oh yeah, let's do the producers versus the Jers and Coach Chip," and we're like, "Okay, we'll do it." And I knew Jer's game wasn't as strong as my game. I'm not gonna lie to you. I knew Jerry's
got it in
golf
there.
game wasn't as strong as mine. I've seen him play once.
I just got to polish
And
it up.
was I nervous? No. We kept it positive in the dome. Jer and I were like, we're gonna do this today. Hayden's been out golfing
I've been golfing quite a
25
lot.
times, 30 times this year. I've been out 5 times max. Jer once.
Yeah. Yep.
I knew Hayden's probably been practicing at the range all week for this match, and we weren't intimidated, were we, Jer?
Oh no, easy. I know I'm good for at least one good shot per round.
The first tee.
I mean, per one shot per hole. I'm gonna make one. I'm gonna get one. Do one.
Okay, back to Hayden.
Back to Hayden.
Tell
Yeah,
the
so
story.
you guys were vibing. You had the immaculate team vibes
we
for
felt,
sure.
Yeah, we felt that way.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll say from the first tee box, Jer was up 1st, and
Piped
Jer
it.
just pipes this thing. He plays a little baby fade. Sometimes it's a
It was a bit of a dog leg.
it was a dog leg,
so
right? So
I knew that was good for me.
it was great for you, and you smacked it right into the fairway. And then what do? I step up and outdrive Hayden as well, and put it dead center of the fairway.
No, I was actually further, but you were.
I
in the
know
fairway.
you were in the rough. You were in the rough. I was dead center of the fairway, and then the rules were so Steve Dangle was there, and he only could play one hole. So the rules were we had to let Steve shoot a shot, and I don't know, does Steve golf at all?
No, not. He's
Steve
been
doesn't-
like one or like a handful of times
Yeah,
in
so
his life. Yeah.
So Steve doesn't golf at all. I fluff one into the middle of the fairway for him and give him. I think I gave him an approach wedge.
Yep.
Good shot. He had a great shot with it.
He hit it forwards,
Hit it forwards. It went forwards. Yeah,
Yeah.
it went forwards.
and we were all like, "Yay, go Steve!"
Yeah, I was like, yeah, Steve,
He did
beautiful.
shank it into the woods.
And I will say I did take a practice shot and I stuck it to about.
Oh,
15
yeah, that was
feet.
nice.
Yeah, it didn't count though because we had to use Steve's shot. but-
Yeah. We used Jesse and I used Steve's shot next as well, and he advanced it just short of the bunker. So pretty similar
Yes.
outcome from your guys.
So yeah, I guess we'll break down the match a little bit.
I really hope we're not gonna break down every single
No.
shot and everything.
No,
Okay,
no, I'll
good.
break down the
Thank
match. So like it
goodness.
was like it was even.
Yeah, we
And
were
then I
back
think-
and forth. for a
Back and
bit,
forth,
but
and then I think we went one up. Like on
we
hole
went up early. Yeah.
on
like
hole 2,
4,
you
or
went
like-
one up.
Did we go on hole 2?
Yeah, because some guy that was ahead of us stole my ball. So we ended up chipping out of the rough.
Oh
like the thicker rough.
yes.
And then you guys ended up one putting, and we two putted. for
And
the
I did
loss.
pay the guy ahead of you. I made sure I squared up with him after that. $20 for
every
that.
ball that you pick up of this guy's. Yeah.
I had a few guys hiding in the trees, snapping up balls.
Oh yeah, let's break that down. So we have the full film crew out, so we're not gonna be playing the fastest.
Yeah.
And then so the guys behind us, we had 2 guys behind us, 2 older guys, probably members.
They're experienced.
They're experienced, and they're behind us, just giving it to us. Like you could tell, like they were not happy. Every time we were on the
Yeah.
green, we're looking back. These guys are like hands on their hips. Come on. So then I start yelling back, "Come on, we're playing golf. Just relax. We'll let you play through." So we let them play through.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking they're gonna be like some pros.
Yeah.
The one guy had a nice shot. The second guy got a little intimidated. I think, which we all do when you're playing through. It's an intimidating thing. You got to
Yeah.
tee off in front of these people that are all watching you.
Not me. I'll shank it in the woods. I don't care who you are.
I mean, I'm just gonna put that thing dead fairway, which is what I was doing all around. It seemed like.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
probably the biggest shock for me. The most impressive was
Thank you.
Chippy
Thank you.
only missed like 2 fairways all
I think
day.
which is crazy because we went golfing and I couldn't.
Yeah, you couldn't find you could
couldn't
find
the
every
fairway.
other
Yeah,
fairway
it
except
was
for the one you're aiming
such a
for.
big slice. Like
Yeah.
I just coming through the ball was a big thing. But
I'm still working on those straight shots. And let's just paint the picture here. We were golfing at 11:15 on a Tuesday. Okay?
I know.
So relax, people. We don't need to hurry
absolutely
it along.
relax. We're
Like,
golfing on a Tuesday and it's sunny.
why?
Just come on.
Why is
And
everyone?
we're waiting for the guy in front of us now because we let them play through, and now they're slow. And now the guys behind us are just giving it to us. I remember I was on the green, and I stuck up for our unit, and I was like, just relax, we're playing golf.
Yeah, they drove the ball like right after we left our
I know,
second
he almost
shot,
hit us,
and then they were standing there waiting when we just got on the green, like, go hit it already.
You know what I do if I'm golfing with my friends and people that I like and enjoy spending time with, and then the people ahead of me are a little slow. I'll just turn to the person next to me and we'll communicate. We'll talk. We'll hang it.
conversation.
Let's just
Exactly.
chill. Let's
Look at
just
this opportunity for conversation.
wow.
Yeah.
And it's a nice sunny day, and we're out on the course. We're in nature. Or you could just sit there.
we had
Look at these
Rory
people.
McIlroy
Oh my
behind
gosh.
us. Like the pace of play up front
Yeah.
I've
wasn't
got-
up to their par.
I've got brunch at 12:30. I'm gonna miss my egg salad sandwiches. Come
Yeah, I
on
got
now.
my steak cooking on the grill at the turn.
If I don't get to the grocery store by 1:30, all the good flavors of I'll still gone.
spent 10,000 on my membership this year.
I'm gonna miss my yarn appointment.
I can't believe they're not playing fast enough.
Yeah. But anyway, it was
Bakery's gonna be
it was,
sold out of artesian breads.
It was a fun day, and we won't give away too much because the SDPN's going to be uploading the video next week.
Go check it out on YouTube.
Tune into YouTube.
But yeah, Chippy and Jeremy were vibing. Jesse and I think I probably played like an average round for myself. I didn't play too good. I didn't play terrible.
Yeah.
But we used a lot of my shots.
Yeah, you're definitely using a lot of Hayden shots.
Yeah.
And
Let's not say too many bad things about Jesse.
Oh,
Because
Jesse's a beauty. I love
okay.
Jesse.
See, Chippy and I were going to this. We thought we were just gonna meet up with the SDPN guys,
Yes.
golf a little, but then sign a fat contract and join their network, right? And then the Puck Daddies were just gonna be like blasted into stardom. They're gonna take us under their wing, right? Pay us billions of dollars. That's what we thought was gonna happen. And then on the way there, Hayden's like, "Oh no, we're shooting a YouTube video." I was like, "What? I didn't."
and let me preface, I think I've one golf round we've ever filmed. That was with Hayden.
Yeah.
And it was. So this one was like, okay, well, we're not the ones filming it, so every shot's gonna be ridiculed. So I was coming in and I was locked in.
Chippy
from the
performs under the
I
pressure.
was locked
yeah.
in. Yeah, it was. I liked that camera. I was in there. We were getting competitive. I was getting a little. I was actually getting a little competitive with both you guys. I was getting a little.
The chirps were rolling.
Yeah, the
It'll
chirps
be a
got
good
the
time,
chirps
yeah.
got a little serious. The
Yeah.
chirps got like just relax, like. And
Yeah.
that's gonna be a fun video.
That was
'cause-
great. I like playing against you guys, but I would have liked to have done the 3 of us versus the 3 of them.
Oh yeah.
Like
I don't
if
think that
Adam and Steve came and stayed for the whole round, do 3v3. Maybe we'll have to do that another time.
Yeah, but not at Deer Creek. Let's go to like Cedarhurst or
go somewhere in the
Simcoe
middle.
Shores.
Go to Newmarket,
Go to-
like halfway
No,
or something.
Beaverton. Like,
Beaverton.
go to Beaverton. It's halfway from like Whitby and where we are, and the course is there. People don't care. They're just a bunch of old farmers, and they're just.
Oh,
chilling.
so we have as much time as we
That's what I'm
want.
saying. They just hang out. They're just hanging out, and all they're
Go
gonna
to a
do.
farmer's field.
That's basically Simcoe Shores is basically a farmer's field there.
Yeah.
But like
Wide open fairways.
Anyway,
it's very
The
wide.
golf vibes were immaculate yesterday. Go check out that video. Thanks SDPN for having us out. We'll probably be joining. We'll probably go on their pod.
Yeah, we were
sometime
talking
soon.
about that.
Yeah.
Doing a little pre NHL
Yeah.
breakdown, maybe a big pod day.
That'd be fun. So yeah. Other than that, what did you guys get up to last week?
Ooh, wow.
Ooh, Jerry, you want to go?
Yeah, Chippy and I practiced with a couple NHL players.
Oh
We
yeah.
were just getting tuned up for the men's league season coming up.
Yes. Yes.
So we headed out with mental health hockey. That's Brady Leovold
Beauty.
and Muskoka hockey. So Sam Gagne, he's just getting near the end of his NHL career, but he's already thinking like, what's the next step? So in the off season, he's chilling in Muskoka. He's like, I don't get it because I'm in Muskoka, and a lot of these guys, like a lot of the NHL players, they're
Yeah.
in like that cottage country.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
couple hours from
all
the
of them
city.
are up there, dude.
Right? Then to train, they go all the way to the city.
Yeah.
And they got to come back to the cottage. He's like, well, why don't we just do it here? So in Gravenhurst, he sets up these skates where it's basically just like the guys can practice there.
keep on the ice, keep fresh during the off
stay
season.
But
fresh,
it's like the
feel a
guys
few
they have
pucks,
coming through are
battle.
not like they're big. Taylor Hall,
Yep.
like
Bo Horvat.
there was some like
Good
Marner,
Branson.
Branson was there.
Branson,
Yeah. What else we got?
Clifford, Kyle Clifford.
Yeah, Kyle Clifford.
Oh yeah.
And a few of the guys that are trying to crack the NHL as well too. So they got some prospects out there
Yeah,
too.
Right.
like
And then Gagne's no slouch. He's got some great mitts on him.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was crazy. We were literally on a pro practice, just like
Yep.
Jared and I were pushing some pucks
Come on.
around.
I-
We got in on the drill. We actually got in on the drills,
got in a
snapping
few.
some passes.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, they were impressed. You were just sitting there like, hey, field a few passes. So it's
Yeah, it's
interesting.
like
what
they didn't know. I didn't think I could field a couple passes. Like, guys, come on,
put
like
it on my tape, right?
put it on my tape.
It's easy, light work. But yeah, it's interesting what they work on at the practice. So
Yeah.
a lot of like 3-on-3, a lot of competitive stuff, a lot of battles, which makes sense. Like that's game like, right?
Yes.
You're not going to go around pylons. I didn't see a
it's
single.
also-
Those were my favorite practices.
It's also
battle
fun.
drills.
So they're like, I'm in my off season. I want to do something fun. I don't want to like.
Yeah. And
I
it's
want to stay
intense.
conditioned and keep the intensity, but not just be like bag skating the whole time. You know.
Yes.
One of the drills that they did that I really liked, and this was Adam Nicholas was in there a few weeks prior, and I think Gagne grabbed this drill from him, from what I've heard, anyways. Basically,
Rumor has it.
it's 3-on-3 in a small area.
Oh yeah, I like
And-
small areas.
And you have to make 3 passes to your teammates.
Yeah.
And then once you do, you got to carry it across the blue line to get 1 point. So these guys, it really forces these really quick decision making. Pressure is on you right away.
It's like a breakout drill under pressure, kind of.
You know,
Oh,
it's like a neutral zone. So it's like
Right.
you take away the neutral zone. It's just the one side of the ice.
Yeah.
And it's like 6 guys in like a tiny area. Those are my favorite.
So to
drills.
complete those,
I love those
It
ones.
takes a lot of like precision, skill to.
Quick
one
quick
touch
toss
passes,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. So
stick lifts,
Area
battle.
passes.
you don't have
setting
any
picks,
time.
like all that stuff.
You don't have any time,
Yes.
right? So it's fun to watch. And there was one where they really went bing bang boom, like they tied them all together. It was right at the end. I got
Right.
on the GoPro, so I'll throw that up there
Oh, sick.
somewhere. And then another one that was interesting is they do a lot of just pulling the puck off the boards.
That's the hardest.
As
that's the
Daryl Belfry
hardest thing to
says,
do.
taking garbage and making something good from it. You know,
Yeah.
like garbage in, garbage out. But they work on if you do get a bad pass along the boards, how do you get it off quickly
The
so you can
angle
make a
to
better
get,
pass?
So you don't
yeah.
get cranked if you're a defenseman. The forward's coming in a million miles an hour. And
Yeah,
you gotta
right.
pick that thing up off the. Those were the most dangerous spots as a defenseman. I remember like you'd be dumped into your end and the puck would sit on the boards. And
Oh, and you have to go
you have
straight
to
and
take
turn
the right
quick.
angle. You have to like take
Yeah.
the right angle, scoop it, and the guy's about to come in and just lay you out. So
Well,
you
the
gotta be
hardest is if they're right on your back and you don't have time to take that angle.
Yeah.
So you have to go like straight to the last second, then carve quick so you don't get
Yeah,
leveled.
like-
yeah.
Half the drills incorporated some form of like peeling a puck off the board. and-
Yes.
Right.
So I thought it was pretty cool. I asked Clifford. I said, "What's the secret to getting the puck off the boards?" And without missing a beat, he said, "Hit a guy." Lay the ball. That's his answer, right?
Right.
He solves everything with a sledgehammer.
Right.
Just hit a guy.
And if
Hit a
you're
guy.
trying to get the puck off, wait for him to hit you, hit him back.
Hit him back.
Yeah.
Good
I
br-
could see that. I've seen Clifford up close when he was playing in the Marlies.
Yeah.
I saw a Marlies game and a Leafs game in the same night, which was awesome.
Yep.
And I saw him in like basically any opportunity he has, he's bumping shoulders with a guy.
Yeah.
Like he's the one initiating every single contact.
Yeah.
So that he's never shocked, and he's a big dude. So like
oh, yeah.
most of the kids in the Marlies, like they just bounce off him.
Yeah. He throws his weight around. And then I asked Good Branson, he went into a little more depth. It depends on the situation. And in that drill, he was working on a little more finesse. So he's like catching it. Sometimes he's stopping it early and smacking it out in front and then going to the net. Other times he's catching it behind and then spinning off the boards. A little more high risk. And I was like, hey, that's a little more high risk to do that, isn't it? He's like, yeah. He's like, to be honest, in this situation, if I'm doing that, it's because I'm getting pressured.
And the only option is to pull back.
Yeah, so
but he's practicing it in case he's in
Exactly.
that
In
situation.
that
So
situation, yeah.
there he would catch it behind, take contact, and then spin off.
Right.
Right. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like they're working on different nights.
I mean, it's just men's league, but there was a couple times last night that I did that. The guy was pressuring me, and the puck was rimming around the boards.
Yep.
And I made it look like I was going to try to go through him, and then I just stop quick and turn and then drive the net.
Yep.
And then I got hooked 6 times and couldn't shoot it. But
Oh,
yeah.
but the
Sounds
first
like
play
men's
off the
league.
boards was good. Yeah.
I just really wanted the puck, so I kept hooking you to try to get it off.
Jared, I'm like, Jared, what are you doing, man?
That's the puck, Hayden.
I was talking to Goody there,
Yeah.
and I was just like asking him like about like playing against like McDavid's and stuff like that. So he says like the speed of McDavid's just insane. But then he was talking about some other guys. He said Panarin was like east to west, like shiftiness.
That's like Bedard.
Like you can't. He says he plays your front. He says he plays the front foot. So like if you're trying to go stick on stick, he puts like his foot so he knows how far. Like you just can't get it off him. He was saying like and the guys like Marner, they're very like east to west. Like
They put the puck
shiftiness.
where it needs to be so that you can't get it.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. And it's like those guys. And then he said like I said like what about Mathews? He's like. He's just a horse. He said, like, on the boards, like, he's just, like, you think you're just going to get that thing from him, and it's, like...
Just doesn't happen.
Like,
Hard to get the
he's
puck
a
off, yeah.
horse.
Well, I tell Jeremy with his moves trying to pull on, like, a one-on-one or something, I was like, put it in the guy's feet. Put it where, like, he can't get his stick
you were
on it.
saying that,
Make it uncomfortable.
Make it uncomfortable for him. And you'll, more often than not, if you can... Even if he gets his foot on or something, it's still, like... You're going faster than him, so all you have to do is like pick it up with you when you're going through him, right? Like you put it in his feet and hope for the best, or once you get good at it, you kind of like target the weak spot and like pull it through.
I want to get out to some pickup hockey and mess around a little more with like ideas and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Get some breakaway practices.
yeah.
We went, then after the pro practice, we went over to surprise the Marlies.
Oh yeah.
Marble Rose, the U16 AAA. That was their draft
Ooh.
year this year.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was cool. We kind of snuck in, Jerry, I, and
They must
Brady.
be pretty quick, those kids too.
Oh,
Fly.
they were, they
They're
were
better than I
full
ever
fly.
have been and ever will. Like I was not that good at hockey at that age.
Right.
Not a chance.
No, these guys were like, they're ready. They're ready to get drafted.
they're
most of
problem.
the guys are going like one of the kids like top 5 or like so, I don't even know.
Well, what I can imagine the percentage of kids drafted from that program is pretty high.
Oh yeah,
It's got to be like in the 30%.
So last year from that team, every kid got drafted except for one to the OHL.
No way.
Every kid.
Wow.
Which is unheard of, really.
Well, the Marley. That's what I. It was always a joke. Like whenever we're playing the Marley, they were always so stacked because they're bringing guys in from all of the GTA.
Yeah.
Like it's like
Yeah, and Mississauga people would come. as
literally
well, like
everyone, bro.
Yeah.
It was like, how do you compete? Like we'd be like from Barrie, and
Mm-hmm.
our team was nasty for just Barrie. Like, but like if you could bring in a couple guys from North Central, and then you could go to like grab a couple guys from Vaughan,
Mm-hmm.
like you would have just a stacked team, right? So like that's kind of seems to me like what they do over there. But
Well, that sounds like a pretty fun day you guys had then.
yeah,
Oh, it's a great time.
And it's in Gravenhurst too, so it's like it's good vibes, like not too crazy. You could
No,
get home
yeah,
easily
we were up in, I
after.
don't even know what Humphrey. We were in Humphrey.
We went to
It wasn't-
Humphrey.
Yeah, it wasn't even Gravenhurst.
Oh, I thought it was
deep, bro.
Gravenhurst.
It was Gravenhurst,
And
then
we drove up
Humphrey.
to Humphrey.
Oh, I see.
Surprised them. We did a little shootout. That's what we were talking about, shootouts. We did a little shootout.
Oh, I thought
challenge.
it was like a practice in Gravenhurst. Then the Marlboros came on
That would have
after
been nice.
instead of driving.
No,
Drove
yeah,
45 minutes to the middle of nowhere. And
I'd never been there. It was.
I love driving up north.
in
though.
I do too.
in that arena, in the Humphrey Arena, they have a full-on real bear.
Okay.
I didn't even see
Just
that.
in the stands. You didn't see
I
the
didn't even
bear.
see the bear.
It's a
Like
massive.
a stuffed bear.
It once was a real bear.
Wow.
It still is, but now it's stuffed.
Stuffed
Wow.
bear. Yeah.
and it's just
And
sitting there.
do the kids go and sit on it and watch?
Well,
the
it's like
game?
up in the
I don't know.
so like where the stands are, and they have a little platform.
Yeah.
So it's like here's where all the seating is. There's a little platform, and there's just like a massive bear just
Are
there.
they the Humphrey Bears or something? Like
I don't know.
I have
what-
no
I think it's
idea.
just because
hunting up there. You're
Some-
up in
someone-
Muskoka,
the-
there's-
they just didn't have anywhere else to put it.
the superintendent for the building's like, I don't know where to put this. I'll just
Exactly.
put it here.
Yeah, like it was donated by the
trophy.
taxidermist.
Trophy.
Hey guys, I got this bear for you. Oh, thanks. We'll put it over
Also got a
there.
library in there.
Put it in between the benches.
Yeah,
That's
that'd
crazy.
be-
You know you're in northern Canada,
Yeah.
northern Ontario, when there's just a bear for
That's
no reason.
nuts. That's
Like if you
awesome,
keep
though.
going further north, the rinks have like a moose, deer. Like then you get all the right.
Right. A beaver. All right. Moving on. We got to talk Leafs a little bit because we haven't had an episode since Mathews signed his extension.
He's back.
So he'll be signed for 4 years past this year because he still has one more year on his current contract. So 5 years.
Big Pat.
Oh,
Big
that's nice.
Pat.
Yeah.
How do you feel, Chippy, about the contract?
What is it? 13.25 mil over
Team
4
friendly.
years?
I'm feeling that's team friendly.
Or
I'm
not
thinking.
over 4 years?
I'm thinking he's gonna be bringing me to the games and stuff. Bieber's gonna be there. So
Team friendly, like the
draw.
highest paid in the league.
yeah, he's got a big draw. He's bringing a big draw to the games.
You know, I think he's like, I got to take a team friendly because I got to stay here for Coach Chippy.
That's literally like
So like he could have taken like 15 million in his season. And he's just like, no,
Yeah,
I'll do
like-
13.5.
13.25.
yeah, like that was definitely a factor. I've heard like rumors said like yeah that might have been a factor. Like Coach Chip like popping into the games, getting him like a
Yeah, definitely.
up in the box and stuff with Bieber. I think he was saying something like that. We're going
That's pretty cool.
But yeah,
when
Jared,
season starts,
what
yeah.
did you think about the term in particular?
For me, I mean, it's pricey. He's the highest paid, right? Wouldn't have minded if he took a little less, but then
It's Mojo Pap. He gets what Mojo Pap wants. Like, are you guys? We can't not give a top 2 player in the league what they want.
I mean, obviously the fans would love to see every player take a team friendly, but really, what is it? It's not in the best interest of the player to take less. Why? If you can get more, get more.
And
right?
it's just the salary cap that makes it like
And
it
it's gonna
puts
go
us
up. The
against
salary
the
cap's
players.
gonna go
yeah.
up, though. It's gonna go up.
Yeah.
So like,
So that's what I found interesting about it, and like I listen and read a bit more on like contract stuff than you
Yeah.
guys, especially with the Leafs probably. But
I'm just going by my feeling.
yeah,
yeah,
the
I'm just
feel-
going by-
yeah, like my initial thought was, oh, that's actually better than I thought, because the way that it was shaping up, I wouldn't have been surprised if he signed for like 2 or 3 years for like 13.5 for like what he did.
Right.
well,
But like if the fact they got 4 for that and it carries him into his 30s, I feel like it's probably the best scenario. Because if they wanted to do an 8-year deal or even a 7-year or whatever,
That's what I
they would have had to have
Would've liked
paid
to see.
more. It's the opposite
yeah,
from
yeah.
what it used to be.
no, because here's the thing.
yes,
With the rate of inflation
Inflation,
and all that
yeah.
stuff, it's like if you took like say 13 million in a few years, you're going to be like the 15th highest paid. Like every year, there's going to be new,
Yes.
and then eventually you're like, I'm getting ripped off, especially if you go 8 years long.
Well, it's all based on like
Yeah.
percentage of the cap, right?
Yeah,
So like if you look at the percentage of the cap that Mathews current like the contract he just signed is, I think it's like equivalent to McKinnon's.
yeah,
But the thing is the salary cap's going to keep going up.
yeah.
Right.
That's the thing. So they just hold
if-
on till the
if
next.
they wanted to sign him for 8 years, then he'd have to be like, okay, well the salary cap's going to keep going up. You got to sign me for 14,
Yeah.
14.5, maybe even more, like because it's going to
17-1,
be like
potentially 17-1.
Well, so when I first saw it, I'm like 4 years seems a little non-committal, like. But in the end, it's like he can just
It's still 4.
you can still sign again.
he can just resign. Yeah. So and you know what? If I was a pro player, I'd probably be on the same page.
I would be all the. Give me the 2-year deal.
For
Give me 2-year,
him,
give me 2-year bridge.
if I'm thinking as Auston Matthews, that's a smart deal. If I'm
great
thinking as a
deal.
fan, I was like, no, do it for 10 million for 8 years. You know, what I mean? Like you just want him cheap.
Yeah,
Stay with Toronto, sign forever. Right. So yeah, definitely makes sense.
I do think though that's going to be a bigger. I mean, it's already starting to be a trend with like the star players in the league. They're going to take less term
Yeah.
and bet on themselves because the way that it's projected to the salary cap's projected to increase.
That's a big bet.
Have to
That's
do
a
that.
big bet on yourself because like what if like you don't score 6?
He'll be.
Well, they'll push themselves until they are through their prime. Then they'll try to lock.
and they'll
in
go.
8 years.
Okay, give me 10 years now.
8
yeah.
years. Yeah, they can't do 10.
8, sorry.
Or 7. They-
He's still primetime Poppy. You know,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
primetime Poppy.
Yeah, at 30.
We
He'll-
got
at
Pappy
30
for
he'll
his
sign
prime
it.
time.
He'll sign an 8-year deal in Arizona at 30.
The other thing,
There you go.
You're talking about team friendly.
Yeah.
I think I heard this. I think it was maybe like Steve or Jesse or someone that was talking to this on the SDPN. They made a good point that who knows what's going to happen with Pappy in 5 years if if he's injury prone and stuff like and you all of a sudden if you had locked him in at 8, then you got 3 or 4 years of Pappy that can't even play. You never know, right? So it's good for both sides.
And even if he gets injured, he's still going to get paid because his actual salary is only $750,000 per year.
yeah.
All the rest is a signing bonus.
Yeah, that's the same as
It's
his
like a
current contract.
It's like a
yeah.
$15 million signing
Leafs,
bonus.
The Leafs can do that.
Right, yeah.
because they
So
can pay
if he
upfront.
gets injured or if there's a lockout, he still gets all that cash. Right, July 1st, boom. Here's
So it's front loaded.
a
Chippy,
ton of money.
here's a point for you.
Yeah.
You're gonna slide into Mathews DMs the day before July 1st
I'll be
when he gets that bag every
I'll
year.
be
hey,
there.
Poppy, drinks on you today. Huh? It's payday.
Yeah.
Pap.
I've got
I
a
think
quiz.
I think Phil's getting in his DMs as well.
Maybe. Yeah. I got a quiz. I got a quiz for you guys
Oh, okay.
and
Quiz me.
and the people at home.
Interesting.
Comparing the NHL contracts to other sports.
Okay.
Just one, really. Poppy is the highest paid player at 13.25.
Will be next season.
He will be, yeah.
but there's a
okay.
possibility that someone else could
They could
sign-
leapfrog him?
Maybe,
Okay,
but I
okay.
doubt it. I don't think there's anyone up for contract. Anyway,
So
yes,
let's
continue.
compare this to the NBA.
Okay.
How many
No comparison.
how many players in the
Bench players are getting paid more than that.
Okay. So give me a number. How many players in
Yeah,
the
they are.
no.
Yeah, they are.
a bench player?
No.
Non-starters are getting paid that.
No, not. I don't
Like
think.
Will
So.
Will's getting paid like 14 million.
Okay, but only like certain ones, not everyone.
Wait, how many
No,
teams
but I'm
are there in the
still
NBA?
saying.
Like 30?
But there's also 12
think-
players on the team
Right,
versus
we'll say 30?
Sure, yeah.
30 teams in the NBA, maybe? How,
32 or something like
and there's
that.
like 5 starters?
5 starters, yeah.
Okay, so that'd be like
And then-
150 starters, if my math is right.
What? Oh,
Buddy,
5 times 30?
I can't
yeah.
do this math right now.
3? Yeah. Okay. Anyways, how many players in the NBA are paid more than Pappy? Just give me a random guess.
52.
Okay.
That's not a bad guess.
It's a great guess, I think.
Yeah.
So he's the highest paid in the NHL. You know,
I'd say
maybe 10, maybe 20.
I'd say like 25%. So like what is that?
percent. Don't give me a percentage. Give me a solid number.
Give me a number.
30.
30. 113
Yeah.
players in the NBA.
I knew that though.
That-
I low guessed that.
113 in the NBA make more than Pappy.
Of course, but
How many players are there in the
well,
NBA
how many-
total though?
I think less.
How many people watch basketball over hockey?
Exactly. It's a more popular sport.
Way more popular.
They're making more on merch.
They're
right?
just there's way more people.
I don't know if they play more games.
No, they play like 82. I think they play the same.
Baseball's nuts because they pay.
Baseball, these
they
guys
play
are-
2 games in a day.
450 players in the NBA roughly. So
Mike Trout's making like a $600 million contract or something.
so yeah, so 113 that's like it's about 25%.
Hey, should have gone with a percentage. I don't do math that way. That's crazy though, eh? Like the
Yeah,
comparisons.
That's wild.
But I think the revenue of the NHL is pretty close to the revenue of the NBA.
No chance.
You know, I think it's like 10 billion, and the NBA is like 13 billion. It's getting close.
No.
The NHL has doubled their revenue in the last few years.
How?
I think it's the
I think
TV
it's when we started doing
Yeah,
our
I think
podcast.
so,
It
too.
really.
How? We
it's
know
the
how.
TV deals that aren't as
We
big.
know
though,
how.
right? Like the NHL doesn't
How
get as
could
big
that
TV
possibly be
deals.
even close? How could the NHL be close to the NBA?
That's
Because it's
interesting.
the best sport in the world, I think.
It
That
is,
might be
but
the reason
I'm
why.
just saying
And we'll
the
just
amount.
end that with a cherry on top. Yeah, best sport in the world, hockey. It's gonna be
That-
biggest
that's
sport
why.
ever.
Next
Yeah.
topic, do we do a draft or something like that?
No, I got a game for you guys,
Yeah,
or
let's
not
do
really even a game, just
Let's do a
a
game.
just something that we can reflect back on. Okay,
Okay.
I want each of us to predict when/if and how much Nylander will sign for.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
Nylander's gonna make like 10-5. Okay. Nylander's
But no, like you're making a prediction. We're gonna come back to this when Nylander signs, or if
I got
he
it.
does.
He's making 10 million a year in Detroit.
In Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit
When?
loves Swedish players.
When? That's another part of the equation. When will he? Are they going to trade him?
like,
Wait, no,
I
'cause
think they're gonna trade him
They'd
at
have to
deadline.
sign and trade him if they did that, or I
Yeah.
guess they could trade him and then have something lined up. That
Oh,
Detroit.
but then you got to think of who can Detroit send to the Leafs, right? All this.
Yeah.
I
don't
think
that deep.
we're gonna move him at the deadline for a defenseman.
Mortiz
deadline?
Sider. Yeah, Mortiz Sider to the Leafs.
Mortiz,
Mortiz, is that his name?
Actually,
Moritz?
I don't know.
Moritz Sider? I thought it was
maybe I'm wrong on
Moritz.
that.
Moritz side.
I don't think we're gonna sign him before the season ends. He's gonna be a UFA.
You think they're gonna let it run out,
Yeah.
and you're basically getting a free year of Nylander.
Yeah.
Why trade him for nothing if they can't get a good deal?
Yeah.
I
I think this is the
Yeah.
year. I think everyone's saying this is the year,
Okay.
but we're cup bound.
So Jeremy, what's your official prediction?
All right, I'll just say he moves around the trade deadline. And I just said Detroit because Detroit
Yeah, you
loves
copied
Swedish.
me.
And he's
Yeah,
gonna
You
sign.
didn't say.
I said he's gonna move at the deadline. Did I not say that?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, well, we both feel the same way. That's
Okay. Well,
not
I
impossible.
say we're just gonna keep him.
And he's gonna sign he can't sign an 8-year deal, so with another team if he's moving. So
I don't
7
know.
years.
I don't think
somewhere?
about terms. These numbers mean nothing to me.
Nylander is gonna be a Leaf, and he's gonna win the cup with us, and then it's like everyone's gonna be celebrating. It doesn't even matter.
All right, I think that it's gonna go into the season and get to the trade deadline. Like in the week or two leading up to the trade deadline, they're gonna extend them.
I would love that.
No
And I think
way.
it'll
I would
be-
love that.
How?
I think they're gonna extend them for like 9-5
Okay. I think that's a very
I
good.
think
over
that's-
over like 5 or 6 years, something like that.
I think it depends on how many rips he gets this year. I think if he has lights it up beginning of the season, he's getting like 40, 50.
So
goal
that's
saves,
where
like-
that's where I think that it's gonna, like I say, in the weeks leading up to the trade deadline, because I feel like they're gonna try and sign him during the season, and maybe they'll try to time it when he's in a slump or something. But I feel
So
like
they can
trade-
beat him down and pay him less.
I feel like realistically, it'll be like the pressure. The deadline always works, right? The trade deadline. They're going to be trying to look and see if anyone can trade. They won't like it, so they're going to end up signing him. And he wants to play in Toronto, so he's going to come down from his like 10 million number, meet somewhere in the middle at like 9-5.
That'd be
know,
great. I
but
mean, I would
if
love
he
him.
ripped,
I would love
like,
it.
If he rips, like, what do you almost have 40 goals last year?
Yeah, close.
Like, if he's on that same pace, 50 goal, like, he get 50. I
So
think-
yeah, that's the scenario.
And,
Like
then,
if,
and then Tavares is making 11-5. It's like,
I'll tell you what's going
and
to
the
happen.
cap's going up.
if he
like,
does
I
that,
don't
then
know.
he probably won't be a Leaf. But I feel like he's going to be like typical Nylander. He's probably going to be sitting around like 25, 30 goals at the trade deadline. and they're just going to find a middle ground and get him signed so that he can stay for a few years later.
What's going to happen? Keefe is going to invite everyone on the team to a little, team meeting. Except Nylander's not going to get the memo, right? And then he's going to say, hey, Mitch, Pappy, hey, Riley, don't move the puck to Nylander, all right? Just like you just let him do all the just forget he's out even on the ice, right? So they're gonna sewer him on purpose. He's gonna start feeling down.
No
on himself.
power play time.
Yeah, no power play time.
What's gonna
Right?
happen?
And then he's gonna be like, oh man, I'm not what the player I think right, and they're gonna beat him down. And
I don't want to see that.
you're-
I love Willie.
No, Nylander's gonna sign the first crypto deal in the NHL. Nylander's
All
like,
crypto.
I'll take a discount, but I want to be paid in
What is that?
Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Freelander?
please.
Crypto?
Yeah, Crypto Lander. The Crypto Lander.
Yeah. Nah,
I think he is. I think he will. I think he'll sign a crypto deal.
all the players are just not going to pass on the puck, so he takes a team friendly, right? He's not going to be performing, and then right when he signs, they're just going to start feeding him the biscuit, and he's going to flourish, and then he's
William Nylander signs the first ever Ethereum deal. And
Speaking
he's gonna
of,
be the most rich person in the NHL history.
Speaking of crypto finances, that realm, Jeremy, you sent us an interesting article. I mean, kind of weird and infuriating in some ways that Ontario,
infuriating.
for me at least, I think it's like just ridiculous what
I
Ontario's
love
doing.
it. I love it.
Ontario bans pro athlete betting endorsements. So like they can't like betting
So
platforms.
what infuriates you about that?
I think that it's just like, why does the government have any say on like what and
On its citizens.
yeah, like what
Because
what,
we're in
what
Canada.
advertisements
We're in Canada,
people are allowed
brother.
to see.
Because
It's
we're
like
in Canada,
no, it's
brother.
not even Canada. It's
We're not even
Ontario.
allowed to
Ontario.
choose
It's
what
Ontario.
we see.
Yeah, we won't talk about
Online.
that today because that's a whole
Yeah,
rabbit
well, that's
hole.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Here's
But
how
that's what I'm saying. It's like so much regulation is happening with like what is being put in front of our eyes that it's like, how can you trust what you see now online because it's being
You
filtered
absolutely
through so many
cannot,
things.
and that's what
Yeah.
we're in a dangerous spot as a society, and we need to start awakening to this and fighting back for our freedoms.
But
as a
anyway,
nation.
So
in
you're going to
specific-
fight to see those ads? You're going to fight to see more gambling ads?
No, I don't care
That's
about.
not what I said. I said we're fighting for freedom of the people
Yeah.
and getting our freedom back.
We should be free to see any ads we want.
Exactly. We
Don't
should
take
be,
those
we
ads
should
away
be
from
free.
us.
Nothing should be. We shouldn't be censored of what we can see because whose decision is that to not let us see something? Who is making that decision?
I think that it's just. I think it's annoying for me because I see pro endorsements of advertising. Like, I'm not that I support like betting in like the strongest sense, you know. I just think that it's like, okay, that's an avenue for players in Ontario, like like any like Ottawa or Toronto, basically, to have their players make extra cash on the side, and it's an incentive to play here. So on that side of things, it's like, okay, now they can't do that in Ontario. It's like,
Right.
okay, taking one more thing out of the clip in the
But-
side that you can use.
But
to
the Ontario
copy.
players can still get these campaigns and get these deals, and the ads can still be shown everywhere else, just not in Ontario. Right? I mean, there probably is some there's some cash getting taken off the table there.
I see what you're
You know
saying.
what I mean, it's only the ads are banned in Ontario, but those ads can still run everywhere else and online. Maybe online in Ontario. I don't know.
Right.
Here's how I feel.
Yeah, let me hear it.
I do not like seeing 75 gambling ads every 3 minutes during every intermission. Every ad is a gambling ad. Every pro player is pitching some other thing, and then even during the highlight reel, they take a quick little break to tell
Oh,
us what
that's
the
the worst.
lines and Cabby is there just jamming DraftKings down my throat, and it's all you see is gamble. So I don't mind, and it really feels like the 50s when they're like, oh, enjoy a cool DeMaurier light after having birth. You know what I mean? Have a healthy organic Putter's Light cigarette. They're just like really
Yeah,
jamming
like,
these.
the way I
smoking
see it,
ads.
it's like they're
down your
getting
throat.
getting it all in until people are just fed up.
Exactly.
Like
And-
it's like you could see what's happening. It's gonna
Yes.
be how much dosh can we throw into this while it's
But
still.
that's the thing is that the betting companies aren't going to advertise less. They're just not allowed to use pro athletes now. So now you're going
Right.
to see more people that you don't even care about.
like me.
no,
Maybe it's good. Yeah, maybe it'll force them to use influencers in each sport more because they can't use the pro athletes in
Yeah,
Ontario. At
but
least.
really is a soul thing though.
Well, look what happened with smoking ads. They were everywhere. Smoking's cool. Everyone's smoking, and they're like, oh, smoking's kind of bad for people. Maybe we shouldn't make it look so awesome. And I don't mind where smoking is gone for the advertisements. They have to put little warnings like, hey,
You can't even advertise it.
no, you can't even advertise. You can't even have pictures.
But,
It's probably
what's the
different in other
difference between
countries.
that and what's the difference between, like, for me, it's like, oh, okay, like, if you care about us, why are you putting McDonald's ads on everything? Why are you
Yeah.
allowed? Why are you allowed to have an alcohol ad that's just poisoning and killing you?
I think
like
my
it's like at what point
Yep.
are we just gonna call a spade and just realize it's just all just a money game and it's
that is what it
it's all a
is.
money game out here and we know what it is.
My feeling on the whole advertising thing with like the government regulating different stuff and like what we see like on social media and like the news outlets, like that whole thing. It's like I'm just tired of the government wasting their efforts on these things when there's so much more important things
All right.
like we're doing.
Hayden, you got
We'll get into we could do a whole episode on politics. We could really get into this, but
Hayden. Let's pretend that you had a little baby 10 years ago. He's growing up. You're nurturing him. You're showing him the love of the game. You sit down to watch Hockey Night in Canada, right? And every single ad. Oh, Auston Matthews, my favorite player. Gamble all your money. Oh, Wayne Gretzky, what a legend. Hey, you should really try some gambling. Oh, there's Mitch Marner. Hey, have you tried gambling with your money yet? And this is all that kid sees day in, day in, every single game. All of his favorite players, all of his idols are like, and it's the only personal, like, eye to eye, like he sees them on the ice playing, but when they're really out there in their suits and like smiling at the camera, and he's like, that's when you really connect with them, and he makes eye contact and
But, like,
says,
it's
you
all-
should gamble
it's
because
just
it's awesome.
the cash. Like you're throwing like these guys are being thrown cash and it's like when you live in a society where everything is money, and you're going to a grocery store and you can't afford to buy an apple or a banana, it's like people will do things for that.
If my kid's old enough to
everything revolves around money. And
my kid's old enough to understand gambling at that point, then I'm not. Like,
Oh.
I'm explaining. I'm like, that's on the parent.
That is 100% correct.
Yeah.
And if we were in a society where every parent was like, I'm going to say every parent is probably trying their hardest, or they feel they are. You know what I mean? Not
Yeah.
There's
There's
varying
different levels. Yeah.
levels of parenting, but that's a great parenting moment. And you can have that open, honest discussion, but not every parent is having that open, honest discussion. Or
Yeah.
some of these parents are literally, while that ad is on, they're
They're placing a bet and be like, oh dang.
they're $10,000 in debt because of these gambling ads.
So yeah,
Yeah.
the gambling's one thing, but I think it's also just like where we're at, like in the world, like I guess the Western world, it's like the phone is the biggest issue. The TV's the biggest issue. If we weren't watching 12 hours straight of TV, we wouldn't even see these things. You know what I mean? The fact that we're all tuned into like a black mirror screen every night.
The only thing
That's
I watch
actually
is
the
hockey.
problem.
Yeah. I watch some Netflix the odd time.
Yeah.
Like
right?
if you don't go on your TV and you don't go on your phone and you live your life, you won't see any of the ads.
Yeah, but I want to watch the Leafs game.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
And then it's just
that's-
gambling ad. So it's no more pro players in gambling ads. So technically, gambling ads are still going to be shown 35 times per minute.
It'll actually
the
be
game.
interesting.
I picture some, like the Ontario government, whatever people they are, thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of seeing all these ads with these pro players. What can we do to stop it?
Yeah.
And they're like focused on that. Meanwhile, people are like going in debt trying to pay their mortgage, and the housing market is ridiculously high, and they're not making affordable housing for anyone.
Well, you will own nothing. You will own nothing, and you'll be happy, Hayden. In 30 years, brother.
I just
In
I just
2030.
anticipate in a few weeks I'm going to start getting a lot of emails from gambling companies like, "Oh,
Hey, you want to do a commercial?
Jeremy, you're not quite a pro player, and we love that."
What about ex-pros? Can they do that?
I think
Can they
Yeah.
still get Gretzky in Ontario? You know?
oh, Fair's not a pro anymore. eh?
that's
like-
joke.
Yeah.
That's actually-
So I'm just gonna get a bunch of emails. Jeremy, you're not a pro hockey player.
You should start pitching them. I am not a pro hockey player. I am in this demographic. I live in Ontario. You can use me for your Ontario ads.
After everything I just said, I'm gonna be the face of gambling.
Yeah.
No, I actually am doing a campaign with Betway, but I am doing it in a tasteful way of like basically I'm gonna bet a 25 cents and be like, this is what I'm comfortable with putting up. It's not gonna and kind of put out that message
Right.
that if it is affecting your mood, if you're trying to win stuff back, like you should not be doing
It
this.
should be fun losing just as much as winning if
Right,
you're
like-
if you're betting on stuff, you know.
Yes.
Like you're doing it for the the added fun of like, oh, was I right or not? And if you're not right, doesn't change you at all.
It's just to put like a little bit extra stake on, right? But I mean, I guess not everyone operates the same way. But I want to put like a responsible spin on it. Like,
Yeah, like it's still,
you should
it can
take
be
a
fun.
break.
Like it can be fun, but like if it's like every day and you're trying to like throw down so you can like make an income from it. Maybe you should.
If you're not paying bills because of it, stop.
Yeah,
Just stop.
All
Take a break. See if you can take a break. That's what I love doing actually with anything. Like I just won't drink coffee for like a few weeks.
Right.
Just to make sure that I'm not addicted to it.
That's
right.
funny.
Like I want to be in control.
You want to prove to yourself that I'm not addicted. I just want to do it right now. Yeah.
No, I mean I like coffee, but I want to make sure that it's not affecting me in a negative way. That I don't want to.
How often do you drink coffee?
Once a day.
I'd say you're fine.
Say
Coffee is.
I would say your body is used to it, and if you stop drinking it, you probably would see an effect.
I do see an effect. Yes, I've done like I'm going to stop drinking it for a few weeks, and the first day or two I feel like a little crankier, right?
Yeah,
but then after that it's
sure,
fine.
Kind of, yeah, like
And it's not
caffeine-
hard.
Yeah, caffeine's like, yeah.
I don't want
I do
to.
tea.
I don't want to need something.
One coffee a day is actually, from what I've read, is very beneficial for your health.
There are health benefits.
Yeah,
to
but
it.
like it's just
Okay,
it's like a
then
certain amount of caffeine.
You could find a study saying it's not. Like, stop that. Stop that right now. Like,
No,
I'd
like
say no.
caffeine is a good property for your function and focus, and there's other benefits.
So is meditation.
I'm very functional.
So is meditation and
What does meditation
breath
have to
work
do?
and-
Obviously, that is
Should we
I'm
just
just
pick
saying-
new things to talk
Yeah.
about?
No, I'm saying coffee isn't. I would say it's actually probably better to drink water than coffee. Is what I'm saying.
Water is great. That's how I start every morning. Get a nice
Water and
glass of me.
meditation are probably the best for your focus and.
Anyway, before we wrap up this episode, we're gonna do a quick one. Do we want to do a draft? I have a fun one to do.
What's it?
Yeah, let's end it with some fun
Oh.
stuff. We kind of got into some heavy stuff there.
There's a few different drafts we could do, but the one that I think would be the easiest to do off the cuff would be drafting the worst injuries to get in the NHL.
Oh,
Or we could do favorite types of food.
We've done so many food ones though.
I know, but like
let's-
worst injuries, that's not fun. I don't want to like the worst injuries. Like
But it's kind of
what,
interesting.
a broken
though.
elbow, like they're
Think
all
of-
terrible. Any like a broken kneecap, but torn
Think of-
ACL, they're all terrible.
Okay, think of all his injuries. There's a player in the NHL that's played through it in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Or even in the regular season, you know?
yeah.
I know, but, like, a broken thumb, like there's
Are those the worst injuries? I don't think those are
a
the worst.
concussion. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's like
You give me some great ideas for the draft. Jimmy.
I mean,
All right, well, I don't want to do best types of food because it's too generic. Like,
no,
Gotta
like
be more-
Mexican, Italian.
it's like, I don't know. I couldn't go do that off the cuff. If you guys want to do that, you can. What do you want to do, Jeremy? You got an idea for a draft?
I like the worst NHL injuries
All right.
because we can just like play off of like guys that have played through it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
do that.
Okay, let's do the worst NHL injuries.
All right.
Well,
I'll be
are we
the-
all drafting?
no,
Or
I'll
you
be
the judge?
I'll be the judge because
All right.
I think they're all terrible.
Rock paper scissors for who goes first.
You can go first. It's fine.
Oh wow! Thank you.
I just
Gentlemen.
my rock paper scissors history hasn't been too good, so I might as well just get it out of the way. Let you go.
You know what? I'm gonna go number
I
one.
kind of want to see it
in-
now. No, I kind of want.
So there's different ways to draft because I could draft in like I know you're not gonna pick my top one, so I could take it like fourth to get a steal. But I also
But do
just
you really know that I won't pick
I
it?
do know.
Yeah, like, are you picking like an injury you can't play with? Like, I don't understand.
I don't know. We'll find
draft
out.
at all right now.
We're gonna find out how Hayden and I interpret this list at the end
Because
based on our
If
team.
you snap your elbow in half, you cannot play. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Okay. So the worst injuries to take in the NHL. Right. And Hayden put this by me like a few days ago, and I was like, well, and I thought he just meant in hockey. And I was
like-
basically like, every injury is the worst because no matter what, if I break my wrist, break my elbow, I just can't play. I can't play. Go to the doctor. Oh, you broke your rib, can't play hockey. I don't want to not play hockey. But Hayden brought up in the NHL, sometimes the guys get these injuries and then play through with like a herniated disc,
Yeah.
right? Or, you know,
So that's not the worst injury though. Like, you can play anything you can play with isn't the worst injury.
oh, okay. Well, I'm going to give you my number one pick.
Okay.
Worst injury in the NHL, a ruptured testicle.
Oh,
Sammy Sallow.
Okay.
Blake Wheeler.
Blake Wheeler got a slap shot right into his berries,
yeah, that's-
and it literally exploded. Right?
Bro, stop that. I can't even.
Do you see?
Churning.
Okay, so I win.
Stop that. Yeah, that's bad. But I also think
He played. He played through it. How?
Yeah, so it's
I think
obviously not
that's-
as I don't think it's as bad as a concussion. I think concussion's probably the worst.
Well, I'm.
Way to just give it.
Yeah, you're just taking my
Well, I'm not
thunder
just
here.
sit here and say nothing.
I'm not.
That's fine.
I too had
A ruptured testicle?
The ruptured testicle on my list in my mind, but it definitely wasn't gonna be number one. Number one for me is not just concussion, but like when you get, the old school hits, you get rocked and you're on the ice, you can't move. Like it's literally like
if you're winded,
no, like concussion. Like your head hit,
Like
you're knocked out.
unconscious?
You're not unconscious head hit. Yeah.
I've never had that, but I've had like close. I've had like
Knocked out.
Yeah.
I've smacked my head pretty hard.
Like
off
the ones you're coming off on a stretcher from a head injury. Like that's probably the worst, and that's the worst for like longevity in life too.
So I would 100% agree. I was just going for the
That's
pain
the-
factor. Like
Yeah.
a concussion is for sure the
the
worst because
worst possible.
yeah.
it affects you. It can affect you for the rest of your life. So I'm gonna say, yeah, Hayden.
Well, there's one worse. Like there's probably there's definitely way
Chippy's
worse.
saying he didn't want to do this draft, and now he's like, "There's so much worse."
Way worse.
Jeremy, your second pick.
My second pick, worst injury to take in the NHL. I'm going with a femur, broken femur.
Ooh.
You break your femur. That's the largest bone in your body. That's not fun. I don't think you can even stand. I don't think you can play through it.
No, yeah, that's gonna be.
think you're-
like a femur is like a whole year
Yeah,
recovery. I think.
that's
Like,
pretty
Mark
bad.
McMorris broke his femur.
I'm-
snapped it in half.
I'm kind of shocked that Jeremy didn't go with this, considering his own personal history. I'm going
Trying to expose my medical history.
to the other teams listening to this, yeah, in men's league.
They're gonna know what to target.
My second pick, worst injuries to get in the NHL. I'm going with another spine and like nerve related type thing, and that's a back injury.
Yeah. Okay.
And like if you break your back, you're done forever.
Well, yeah, so I mean, that's where I was like hit from
Yeah.
behind and your neck goes in. Like,
Yeah,
Mark
like,
Stone.
like your whole spinal cord down your back. Any injury on the back of you through your
I
spine,
don't even
you're
like
done.
talking about this.
That-
I see. In my mind, I'm actually meditating and I'm
Chippy's
not taking
screaming.
any of this in right now because what you think about, you become. And those are words by the Buddha.
I got to agree with you, and that was going to be my next one. I was going to grab concussion and herniated disc. Those are both great ones because, or terrible ones, I should say.
Yes.
The back injury is
They're just great. Yeah.
they're wonderfully horrible. Back pain is nothing to mess around with.
Yeah.
It sneaks
And
up you in
it
all
resi-
kinds
it-
of ways.
It like it stays forever too.
It lingers.
It lingers, yeah.
And it comes back whenever it wants, and it can like, oh, by the way, you can't feel your toes right now, not because there's anything wrong with your toes, but because your back sucks,
Right.
or you got a ruptured spine. Oh, now you can't bend over and put socks on. So, and Mark Stone was dealing with that. He played in the playoffs with that, like he couldn't bend over, and guys were like targeting him.
Yeah. That's
Right?
brutal.
Like
Yeah.
he could still skate.
Yeah, he played and won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
With that.
With that,
With
and
a what?
he's a lot like me.
herniated
Like
disc.
He's a lot like Jeremy.
A lot like me.
Winning the men's league Old Paint Cans Cup.
my back was bothering me, and then I would just stretch it out before the game. I'd go out there and play, and I'd pay
with
for
the
it the next day.
the 2 minutes you have before game time to stretch out.
No, I added an extra minute, so I did 3 minutes because of the right. You have
Right.
to
Yeah.
take care of your body.
Yeah, exactly. If you
All right,
have an injury,
Jeremy.
you should probably not play.
Your third pick.
This is tough. You've taken a lot off my list.
I haven't even made a list. I'm just going off the cuff here.
I know, but
Off
you
the
know, I
dome,
scribbled
off
some
the
down really
dome.
quick when you brought up the topic. I am gonna go with a slap shot right into your mouth, like Sidney Crosby,
Oh,
because that really just sucks.
sucks.
You can still skate though.
That's
You can, but do you want to? do you want like I would rather break an arm than take a slap shot right into my teeth.
Little Doug Glatt saved the game.
yeah. Honestly, yeah. What's worse?
Oh, yeah, I don't like the feeling
losing
of
your
that.
entire front row of teeth with a slap shot or a broken wrist.
Yeah, I'd break my wrist. Yeah, I don't want my mouth wired shut. I don't want my jaw wired shut.
Oh, dude.
My
Yeah,
girl.
that.
You
But
can't
that,
eat
although you
forever.
could still, but you could low-key still play.
You could,
Yeah, that's true.
as long as you're not bleeding all over everyone.
Chara, you can put like the cage on your mouth.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the worst part. Then you have to wear the cage visor combo.
Yeah. All right.
I'd be
I
the
think
first player
I'm
in the league to
honestly.
wear
I think I might be
cage.
clean sweeping this one. I'm going for my third pick. I'm going with a serious knee on knee injury because that also can be
Like a blown out
career
knee,
ending
ACL.
and also last your whole life. Like you can't walk properly. Like ACL, any like bad knee injury, knee on knee. You know, anytime a guy sees it, that's gloves dropped immediately. You know,
Yeah.
because that's just such a dangerous injury, especially for hockey where your like speed in your legs is
My
so
buddy
important.
just
It's always
ACL
scary when you
out.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always scary when you see that on the ice. You wince and you go, oh no.
Yeah. There was one with
McDavid.
There's one with McDavid, but there was one for a guy on the Leafs. I can't remember who it was. And it was like Corey Perry or something. No, not Corey Perry.
Corey
That
Perry
was the head, but
was the
no,
head,
it might have been Corey Perry another time with a
wasn't it
different player.
Nyes?
Might have been Matthew Nyes or Zach Hyman or something. I think.
Yeah,
Because
I
Zach
remember.
Hyman had a knee injury, and I think someone like targeted it or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, knee injury for me, third pick.
Okay, well, I'm gonna come in here with a 4th round steal. Honestly, this is insane that it went this low. Give me a skate to the jugular.
Oh, I had that on my list too.
This is getting so dark. I
had that.
apologize for
That
our
was my
listeners.
that was my sleeper pick for number 5.
Sleeper. Like
That's terrible. I think Jared might be winning.
that.
Honestly, puck to the teeth, sliced open neck.
Oh my god.
Like it has happened a few times, and it has always been very scary.
I don't. That's
Like
that's terrifying.
yeah,
yeah, that's
you're not playing.
This
like,
is
You could come out in a week though, play the next game.
sorry to everybody.
okay.
This has got dark.
This is just cringe
got
now,
very
yeah.
dark. And
Oh my god.
We're trying to win.
Yeah.
there's
I think it's two or three times that it's happened. Everyone survived, luckily, thanks to really quick responses from the training staff and the medical staff. But yeah, basically that's you're scared of bleeding out on the ice.
that's awful.
I don't want to take that. Yeah,
That's awful.
that probably is worth a puck to the mouth. I would take the puck to the mouth over that.
Yeah.
Now it's gotten really sad, guys.
It just got really dark. We're just
I knew this, but that's why I personally didn't want to do the draft. 'Cause I knew this was gonna get.
Hayden,
out
just
of
pick a fun one for number 5, okay? Like a sprained ankle or something.
Yeah.
my 4th pick. Is it 4th pick? Yeah, my 4th pick.
Rolling on
Chippy,
4?
yeah, Chippy, you're gonna have to be the judge on this. I feel like I don't know what to call it, but it's when like your muscle detaches from your
Oh my God.
from your bone, like from the.
Does that just happen?
Wait, what?
I've seen it like with biceps,
tear? A muscle tear?
or like, but I've seen it with like a hamstring too. It like balls up on the back of your leg.
Oh, what are you saying right
Like
now?
you can't move. It's excruciating pain because the muscle detaches from where it attaches on the
And it's
bone.
like when you pull the the cord on the blinds and they just go.
yeah,
all roll.
it's like literally a ball on the back of your leg, like your hamstring rolled up.
I've never heard that.
I'm meditating.
Give me
right now.
one player that has had that happen to him.
I could probably find one honestly,
Okay,
but I don't know off the top of my head. But that is brutal. Like you're not coming back from that for at least a year. You know,
Okay, this is.
to even just like to explode from the legs, like skate. You can't do that if your legs in a
stop.
ball
Wait,
on the
like,
back. Your
okay.
muscles in the ball on the back of your leg.
You know what?
Chippy's gonna throw up.
I'm trying.
Imagine
I'm
all
trying
these
to clear
injuries
my-
at the same time.
Yeah, you take that back sweat. You feeling that back sweat?
Yeah.
Back is sweaty.
Yeah.
Holy.
All right, Jeremy, your last pick. Let's get this over with.
You know what? I was gonna go to another really painful one, but I just don't want to.
You could go extremely dark here.
No, I don't know.
There's
if I'm
there's
gonna
like
do it.
extremely dark. You could go here. Like,
No, but like it's got to be somewhat of a hockey injury, you know? Like it can't be like just.
Diarrhea.
well,
It can't be diarrhea.
I mean, is that an injury?
No, it's not an injury.
like cardiovascular stuff.
Yeah.
that is where I was.
That's like an illness, but I guess I would count it because you could go on LTIR for a like.
It's just so dark. I
Illness?
don't even like
Nah, it's
bringing it
too
up.
much.
Yeah.
It's too much for this draft.
Too much.
And I'm
not
not.
going there.
You can't go
It's not
cancer.
even
You can't go
funny. It's
cancer.
not
I
even
know, no.
Yeah.
That's like it doesn't
Okay,
happen.
okay,
Until
go.
Yeah.
Chill. Chill. Like
You can't.
we still have what's the word I'm looking
All right.
empathy. We have a ton of empathy
Yes.
for anyone that's gone through these injuries.
Yes.
Let's go skate to the Achilles.
Another skate injury.
Oh yeah, the sliced Achilles.
Yeah.
A sliced
okay.
Achilles. That happens. I don't know if it happens often in the NHL because they wear protection now. It has happened, I think.
It's so
That's
bad.
that's tough.
Yeah.
Achilles.
This
like,
is the toughest draft we've done. I think
This is hard to get through, boys.
Is
We
tough.
should have done a
Like,
top 3.
Our empathy goes out. Make sure you clip this into the TikTok. Our empathy goes out to everyone that's ever gone through these injuries.
Yes.
Empathy to you right now.
We're sending.
Sending empathy and sending love.
Yes. And that being said, my fifth and final pick. I'm not going to go too dark with it, boys. I'm going to keep it just something that happens
Keep it fun.
pretty often in hockey.
Injury. What's a fun injury?
I don't want to. I was going to go with the foot, but I'm going to go with a broken ankle instead.
Broken ankle.
Okay, that sucks.
And like not just when someone dangles you and you fall over, like actually a broken ankle. Take a puck to the ankle and it's broken and takes a while to
That's
heal.
definitely a big list.
You know, looking at what we just went through here, I feel we should have stipulated it has to be injuries you can play through and then that would have kept
Yeah,
it.
Kept it less dark.
That's what I was saying. I'm like the dark, like the worst injuries are ones where you're not going to be able to play.
What's
you
the
might
worst
not be
injury?
alive.
Right.
The worst injuries you might not be living.
What's the
for.
worst
Like,
injury to play through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in that case, it'd be like a Charlie horse, or
And then we could do
something
worse
on a
injuries to
sprain.
recover from as a separate. Whatever.
Oh, no.
We did what we did.
Is yours done? Is your list over?
Don't. Yeah, mine's over. We're not gonna
Okay,
judge.
I
you.
got one.
You didn't want to do it. Are you sure?
Like, your skate, you get skate. It's just skate involved, and it's like your finger or something like that gets chopped off or something.
Oh my
Oh.
God, Chippy! You said you didn't want to go dark with it.
I know. Well, it's like we started to go dark.
Oh my
I don't know,
God.
like it's just
Oh, brutal.
they're all brutal. We understand if you.
On
tune
that
out.
note, we'll end it.
Don't comment on who won. Don't leave
Don't-
any other injuries.
To
I hope you.
everybody's health,
To be honest, I hope you
everybody's-
just tuned out and fast
Yes.
forwarded.
Never talk.
Yes. Okay. You can see why I was having a little back push on this topic.
We're not gonna post graphics on TikTok for this one. Pull the footage of the jugular. Oh my
All right,
God.
is that the end?
Empathy, our
That's the end of the
empathy, our
pod, yeah.
Empathies
End of the
with
pod.
everyone that's gone through an injury and is recovering right
Yeah,
now.
love for all. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks to all of you who have bought merch. We're gonna be
Yeah.
doing some thank yous, like digital thank yous. We're not gonna do it live now because Chippy has to run.
I do have to run.
But thank you. Go check out puckdaddypodcast.com. We got some merch. We're gonna be potentially adding some Puck Daddy X Style and Flow merch
Yes,
there soon.
yes.
Nice. By the way,
That'd actually go crazy.
Keefe signs multi-year contract to remain Maple Leafs coach.
No way.
And in the sub headline it says has led Toronto to Stanley Cup playoffs each of his 4 seasons.
Has led them to it or has led them to failure?
Hey,
no, it's-
Big Sheldon's the players coach.
It depends on how you.
Brad True Living's been busy.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more Leafs talk leading into the
Yeah.
season. We're gonna be coming hard this season,
Yes.
guys.
Keep it positive in the dome.
We probably got one more week, like one more episode, then we'll get back to regular weekly, maybe even twice a week
Yes.
if we can commit to it. Let's do it.
We apologize for getting dark there at the end.
Yeah.
Bright,
Brighten the dome, let's go.
light, bright in the dome, bright in the dome, bright in the dome, bright in the dome. Don't think, just flow. Don't think, just flow. Don't think, just flow. Don't
Gonna
think, just
change the
flow.
world with
Reprogram your
my
mind.
hockey stick. Gonna make a real difference. Feed the poor and heal the sick.